The phrase خبت النار in Arabic language means the fire turned off. And the word al-khabtu in Arabic language means the vast space underneath the earth. Those two words share the same root verb of the word ikhbāt, which can be translated as unwavering serenity. It seems that serenity is when the fire within is turned off, and in that stillness one can find treasures, inner treasures. And that is why Ikhbāt is considered the first level of awareness, or the first station of al-nafs al-mutma'inna, the secure or content self. And when one attains that level of awareness, it is characteristic by getting rid of hesitation and relapse. So when one is hesitant between choices, there is a state of confusion. So there is unrest or disturbance. But when one is assured and is being one authentic self and in alignment with Allah or with our innate nature, fitra, then one gets rid of hesitation and get rid of relapse into old patterns of unhealthy or sinful behaviors. So, for example, if one tendency, which is an egoistic tendency to do things just to please people or to gain praise or to avoid blame, against one's true self and against truth, then when one attains that state of unwavering serenity, then one is protected from relapsing into that unhealthy pattern of behavior. So the word Ikhbāt, unwavering serenity, indicates that one is not anymore objecting the will of Allah, the divine will, and one is not heedless of Allah's will. And the word serenity in English language is defined as a state of resting after exertion or strain. So after one is doing the energy had or exerting effort to find the truth and align oneself to Allah, then one attains serenity, which is a state of being untroubled. We see a lot of troubling things in the world, like a genocide. And yes, we need to stand up and demand it to stop, but at the same time, we need to do that without despair, without feeling deeply troubled, because or that comes from a state of certainty that Allah's truth and justice and peace and love is going to prevail. And we're just doing our part and trusting in the process that Allah is using us for. So there is utter calm and unruffled inner repose in that level of awareness of unwavering serenity. And in its highest level, the Gnostic who attain that level of awareness of unwavering serenity will be able to transmit calmness and serenity to others. According to the Quran, Surah 22, Ayah 34, give glad tidings to those who are unflustered and serene, al-mukhbatin in Arabic language. So Ikhbāt, or unwavering serenity, has 3 levels according to Ibn al-Qayyim. The first degree or level of serenity is characterized by 3 characteristics. First is when the infallibility overtakes the lower desire. What he means by that is when Allah's protection takes over and one loses the lower desire of the ego. So let us say if one tendency is to do things just to please people, so that is going to stop when one feels protected by Allah and protected by being one's authentic self, and that desire to please others will just drop off effortlessly. And it is this degree of awareness is also characteristic by how one's will overtakes one heedlessness. So one's will to become conscious of Allah will again drop the heedlessness automatically or effortlessly. And then the demand of Allah will seek consolation only from Allah, not from others. Another important characteristic of this station is that the one who attains it does not feel lonely anymore for any reason, because he's always in the company of Allah, in Allah's presence, and take consolation from Allah directly. And one does not feel lonely because one is different than others or unique than others. As the Gnostic said, don't feel lonely on your path because of lack of those who follow it. And once you attain that, you have a kind of resolve that comes from receiving the lights of the effects of the names and the attributes of Allah, and when its meanings become clear to you. And so the heart does not struggle anymore. Another Gnostic said, whoever takes knowledge from the source of knowledge, it will be steady. And whoever takes it from where it flows to, like from a secondary source, the wave of resemblance will overtake it. Like you start to compare yourself to the others, and you start to have impressions, and you will end up with different meaning than what it was intended. Another characteristic of attaining this station is one becomes okay with both praise and blame. Whenever praised, one says Alhamdulillah, attributes it to Allah and as a gift from Allah. And when one is blamed, one look at the blame or the critique objectively. If one needs to change something within oneself, one makes the tawbah and try to change. And if the blame is coming from people ignorance or egos, then one can dismiss it and does not feel hurt inside. And as another wise person, Ibn al-Qayyim, a wise scholar, said, between a servant and happiness and prosperity, there is the strength of determination, consistent patience, and the courage of the soul, and the steadfastness of the heart. All of these are characteristics of attaining the station of unwavering serenity. And in these stations, one will attain high himma, which means high energy, with certainty, and will start to taste the sweetness of faith, and the walking will start to ease after attaining this station. As Rumi tells us, when setting out in a journey, don't seek the advice of those who never left home. He also said, be empty of worrying, think of who created thought. Everything in the universe is within you, so ask all from yourself. As Khalil Gibran say, behold, I have reached the peak of the mountain, and my spirit has taken flight in the heavens of freedom and deliberation. I have gone far, far away, O children of my mother. The hills beyond the mists are now hidden from my view. The last traces of the valleys have been flooded by the ocean of serenity, and the paths and the trails have been erased by the hand of oblivion. The roar of ocean waves has faded. I no longer hear anything but the anthem of eternity which harmonizes with the spirit. And as Bawa Muhayyaddin said, the ocean of serenity knows no waves.